Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
And I'm Michael, and I make Christmas movies.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Yep.
Boy.
What a week it's been.
Can I tell you what I like?
Tell me.
Is Brian has been remote all week this week,
Yes.
protesting the studio in general.
Yes.
That's right.
And his commitment to still saying
Yes.
the Deck the Hallmark podcast and Merry Christmas, even though he knows he's on a
Yeah.
delay
Yeah.
Yep.
and it will not sound great,
No.
is
terrible.
next level.
Yeah.
Brian, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you making us sound bad.
I
Thank
don't
you.
want to give you any ammunition on not paying for my attendance, so I am participating fully.
So you think you getting paid is based solely on whether or not you say this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast?
I fear if I don't say Merry Christmas at the end,
Yeah.
it's like I wasn't even here.
Aaron is taking notes. I
Yeah,
can
that's fair.
neither confirm
That's
nor
fair.
deny. That is right.
Michael Rady's in the house. Michael, hello. Merry Christmas.
Hey guys, Merry Christmas! This is it's always so funny to hear Dan say he despises Christmas. Hallmark Christmas.
That's what I'm here for.
This is a bit of a tradition we have going on.
That
here.
is. You're right.
It is. Hey, you guys. I know times are tight and resources are limited, but I appreciate you pulling everything together. Everything it took to get to make my quote and to make my
Yeah.
speech. My dog chewed one of the seats in our plane the other day, and the upholstery is almost destroyed. So this is going to go. I honestly, full disclosure, I won't even see the check. It goes right into that. It
That's
rolls
fair.
Right into that. So thank you. Truly, it's
Well,
welcome.
to be fair, I don't know how any of it gets past your lawyers. They're sharks, man. I don't know what you pay them. It's not enough. It's
What?
not
Listen,
enough.
what's a few million between friends?
That's right.
honestly, I just want you to know this was an easy yes for me. So
Easy.
that's
easy,
it's going to be. Look, I bet January 15, it's going to be dialed in, and I will think of you every time I sit on it, and my dog too.
I gotta ask you. This is year number 2 in a row without seeing your face on my screen at Christmas time,
Yeah.
and I don't
Christmas
really
Bow was
know.
the last one,
yeah,
right?
Christmas bow. Thank you for doing that because we wouldn't have known.
No.
You would not have been familiar. You'd have been like a bow and arrow. I'm
I
confused.
thought it was
Yeah.
his bow. I thought he was mispronouncing it, but then I saw him do the
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
sailing movie, the Great Sailing movie. And
That's
then
right.
I saw him do that, and I said, "Oh no, it's definitely."
It's a both and. Yeah.
So what gives? What gives?
Where do you get off?
Where do you get
Michael
off
Rady?
just ruining Christmas for everybody?
Oh, that's very sweet of you. It's I felt the absence. I missed it. I do really enjoy doing Christmas movies every year. Honestly, I was doing some other stuff, so it just schedules didn't quite work out. But yeah, it's funny. I usually feel this pressure every year. I do the Christmas movie, and so you do the Christmas montage. You go to a Christmas festival. You shoot a Christmas festival scene. You like have a hot chocolate race and like all these things. And so I get home to my life and family, and it's like, what are we doing? Oh, I just like it's created this monster in the world of like Christmas to-do lists and traditions. And I had 2 years where I was like, okay, wait, we don't have to like have a marshmallow stacking contest. We don't have to like do like, all
I'm intrigued by Hot Chocolate Race. I don't know if I've seen that one yet.
If you hold it in a mug.
down a giant track, and whoever's mug can make it to the bottom.
Wow, the actual hot chocolate is racing.
I didn't see that coming either.
was a
I thought it was
a
going to be.
boathouse.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like an egg situation on a no.
No, that's dangerous. You wouldn't carry around a hot chocolate.
So everyone has to make something for the hot chocolate to sit in that
Yeah.
goes down a track.
It can take a month to prepare for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say this: if you're watching on philo.tv/DTH, you
Right.
would see that I did the bow for Christmas bow. Michael did the race for Hot Chocolate Race. Like I could see the slope, like I could see it.
You saw the
Yeah,
grade
yeah.
we're dealing with. It's steep, and so you
Yeah.
have to have the right mug selection. It's all about
Yeah.
aerodynamics. It's all about friction. It's a whole. It's just not fun, honestly.
That's right. The hot chocolate race takes all the fun out of Christmas. I've said it for
Hijack
years.
the Christmas tradition. Yeah,
That's the war on Christmas right there. But really quickly before we move into the next thing, will we see you on our television screens next year on a Hallmark channel? Are we allowed? Can you confirm or deny this?
You know, I can't. They asked me not. Yeah, no, I did do a Hallmark movie. I just they don't want me saying which one yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't want you saying that you did one.
It's the new murder one.
Yeah.
Where you just go, you're on a killing spree, right?
Nuts.
Yeah, it's called Death Day. It's an all new Hallmark original Death. It's like a celebration of the death. It's a very
celebration of death.
Nihilistic, like he reads a lot of Nietzsche in it. It's going to be unbelievable.
It's new Hallmark, everybody.
Special thing. So
new Hallmark. Michael, what's your philosophy on coffee? I see you're drinking water right now. It's still relatively early. Do you have a philosophy on coffee? Are you a coffee-free person?
Do I use caffeine? It sounds like you're asking.
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
Do I use the caffeine molecule? I do. I've had a cup of coffee this morning.
Okay.
But I only need that right now. I've got 4 little ones, and the youngest is 1.5, and so I need caffeine right now. I need to use the molecule of caffeine, but if I'm not needing it, if once she gets a little older and our sleep we don't have toxic sleep deprivation, then I won't use it as much probably if I don't need it. But it's delicious coffee.
That's good.
I talk to actors and they're all like, man, like matcha, like, man, like we cut back. And I'm talking about you, Andrew Walker.
I noticed the impression you were doing too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Man.
But you're not an LA fella, so I didn't know if you. I assume,
but he's probably eating. Here's the thing: is Michael Rady is probably actually doing the thing that the LA actors, like the LA act, not Andrew Walker, but a lot of LA actors talk this healthy game. Then we'll go out to eat with them, and it is like a different world when the drinks start coming. Whereas I believe Michael is probably actually walking the walk of what it means to be clean living. Like that would be my guess, anyway.
Hey, I think we all have, bars that we try to. I have a bar I set for myself, and I often fall below that. But I know what clean looks like for me, and I know when I'm not clean. So I'm aware, even when I'm breaking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to keep it clean. Water endorse. I endorse. I do a whole paid thing for water.
Wow, it's big.
Congratulations!
That's a big get for water.
I am worried about your soul getting into bed with big water, but
yeah.
I honestly hesitate to even mention it here, just in case because it's a whole I know there's a whole world of conspiracy theorists out there about it. But I did, honestly, I'm trying to get this upholstery fixed. So I said, I'll bring some of your stuff on the podcast I'm going to.
Yeah, man.
Wait, so is it going to take the water money and our money?
What kind of upholstery are we talking?
What?
Is this like
Good
did they kill the cow?
It's ridiculous. The volume of this seat, it's not a small thing. And so the chairs are quite large. And it's embarrassing. I hate to.
Yeah, you hate talking about it.
Yeah, I know. It's so embarrassing for you. I can tell. You guys did the hot chocolate race in the plane, didn't you? You did you sent him right down the slope in that jet. That's
again,
on you, Michael.
Yeah, you sure did.
Guys, speaking of AWOC, I met him for the first time.
What a guy!
I met him 2 weeks ago. We were all in Vancouver. Everyone was up there working on something. Me, Benjamin, Nikki Deloach, Chris Palaha.
Yeah.
Like, wait, all of my favorite people are in town. We're all having dinner. And so we went out to this little hole in the wall joint, this famous noodle restaurant. And we had this great dinner. And the restaurant was like this. It was, a little bit bigger than, I don't know, a closet. It was a tiny, tiny restaurant. And we took up almost half of it. But one of the other tables sitting in there, they were huge Hallmark fans.
Oh my gosh.
Boy.
They couldn't process what was happening.
Yeah.
And so
it's like the Avengers assembled at a noodle restaurant in Vancouver.
Is that Hawkeye?
Wait a minute. That's all of them.
They're
all there.
They're all there.
Yeah.
And so we gave them the full treatment. That was really fun. It was really
Andrew, Chris, Nikki are all, they've been around for 5 years with us. They are the dearest of friends. So they're the best.
It was immediate. We were immediate fast friends, as I'm sure you can well imagine. They are,
yes.
they are wonderful people. But AWOC, I got home on Sunday night, being gone for many weeks, and there was a big box of juice from Little West juice from Andrew, nourishing my family here while I'm gone. So
what a guy, Little West Juice. We did get that plug in. That's really good.
Little West Juice.
Good. Do we need to do it again? I feel like
that's perfect. That's good. That's a winner. We did it. Nice job.
So who's giving you the most money? Is it Water, us, Little West? Can you rank it?
Bless you guys. No, you guys are adorable for
So not us.
I love what you pulled together. The Water, obviously.
We can't compete with Water.
They're so like they're multinational. It's a massive conglomerate.
It's almost global.
It's almost global.
We were so confident in the number we slid across the table, and Michael's lawyer did a spit take with Water and said, "That's going to cost me."
Yeah,
it's what you guys had to deal with my whole.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
Do we want to talk about Twas the Night Before Christmas?
Since we're here, I guess we should. Yeah.
A movie that we watched. It originally aired on, what was that, December 18th? 17th?
17th.
Let's go with the 17th, December 17th. And it went a little, in case you didn't watch it on Philo TV, which you should be watching it. It's the best platform. Twas the Night Before Christmas went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with someone reading Twas the Night Before Christmas. I'm starting to realize that my autocorrected every single time Twas to the name Tess.
Tess the Night Before Christmas.
Tess the Night Before
There's
Christmas.
There's a comma there. Tess.
Classic Tess.
The Night Before Christmas.
Tess. We're in a town, Troy. Is it Troy? Yeah, Troy.
Yeah.
New York. And everyone's dressed in Victorian garb. And they're all going like, hey, we love this. This is amazing. Twas the Night Before Christmas. They're going to be putting on a play where two people argue who really wrote Twas the Night Before Christmas. There's a woman, her name is Madison. She is in town to direct this play. She was an actor who had a big hit when she was younger. Now she wants to focus on directing. She cast her an older co-star of hers, a hunk named Connor. Unfortunately for everybody, she also has to cast the producer's girlfriend, Lena, who is awful. The producer is also throwing in new ideas like trying to sway the jury and romance and whatnot. Madison meets a guy in Victorian garb and decides to cast him as the ghost of, or as the person. I don't know. He's one of the guys that's maybe wrote it. And so she's having a hard time writing new parts, and she ends up baking with Connor, doing a hot chocolate race. Wow. And they're really I know, they're helping with the romance. The sparks are flying. Lena is really struggling with her lines and overall life. And so Madison helps her with the good old-fashioned gingerbread house technique. If you just focus on building a gingerbread house, you can remember all your lines. Michael's laughing, and I don't know why.
We're going to get to it, Michael. You just keep it together.
I don't know why.
We will get there. We will get there.
This is a trade trick.
When I did Shakespeare in the Park, I built so many gingerbread houses. Go ahead.
Okay. So, that happened. Apparently, she's now an amazing actor. Madison and Connor continue to hang out. Sparks continue to fly. We're all better for it. The producer of the play tells Madison that there's a hotshot Broadway producer that might be coming to the show because it might be something that they might be interested in making a full Broadway situation. Saw them live. So this is very exciting to Madison until she shows up to rehearsals and the hotshot producer is there, wants to watch the rehearsal as you do. So everyone's freaking out. They go to the rehearsal. Of course, Lena's doing the gingerbread technique. It's coming in clutch. And but they get to the point where they have to bring out the ghosts, and the ghost is nowhere to be found until the ghost comes in via smoke, as a ghost would. Brings in quite the argument. Another ghost shows up. Man, Twas the Night Before Christmas, this show is going to be awesome. The rehearsal's great. Madison and Connor have a snuggle session on the couch, which doesn't even give us an almost kiss. It's more of a almost want to kiss, but we end up snuggling because that's where we are in life. It's very sweet. They're getting very close. It's time for the big performer, or close to the big performance, and Lara, whatever her name is, drops a bomb. Apparently, her boyfriend recorded some of the rehearsal, sent it to a director friend who said, I think she's doing the gingerbread technique, and if that's the case, I want her now on set.
She did the gingerbread
technique.
Oh my gosh.
So now who's she going to use as the lead? Well, it's obvious to everybody except for her that it's going to be Madison.
Start baking those gingerbreads.
That's exactly right. So it's time for the big show. Connor and Madison are crushing it. They're throwing in some flirts, and the crowd is eating it up. But then it's time to bring on the ghosts. But only the ghost of the Moore guy, the guy who's
the bald-headed older one.
Yes. But they make do. Madison learns a lesson via Ghost in performance, and they crush the rest of the show, and they kiss. The hotshot Broadway lady shows up for the performance and says, I gotta see more of this. And Madison and Connor go outside. They kiss some more, and the ghosts, hang out. And that, my friend, was Twas the Night Before Christmas.
We did it.
We did do it. We're going to take a quick break, build a gingerbread house, and we'll come back, break this movie down even more here on Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Thank you. Brian almost didn't say it.
I know we have things to do. Brian did not say the name of the movie.
Which
I do want that noted.
No, Aaron, do not write that down.
Aaron, write that down.
Do not write that down.
That's right.
Dock that pay. Send it straight to Rady.
Yeah, I prefer to donate it to the cause anyway.
To the cause.
Cause.
That's exactly right.
Twas
the Night Before Christmas. Let's break it down. Let's start with the hot take. Brian, I will start with you. Contractually, we have to. What'd you think of Twas the Night Before Christmas?
I was all in on this very early on, and I got this sense while I was watching it, since I was so in on the whole idea and the way they were sort of like not revisiting history, debating history, using it as an example or a case for not rewriting history, but just playing around with it. I got the feeling Dan would hate it. And that felt like it let me know I'm on the right track here with liking this movie and that this is really, really great. It felt a lot of the stuff about like working on stage, working in a theater, putting a play together, putting a production together felt like really representative of things that would come up and would happen. Gingerbread technique aside, but I'm sure there are elements of that are helpful in real life. But this, my mind was
what
blown.
a limb you're going
yeah,
right now.
It's a weak. I know it's flimsy.
You have an actor here, and you're saying that this is representative of how things like this are made.
I feel like, as a dummy on my couch in South Carolina who don't know nothing, it felt like this stuff comes up. You got a producer who's got their fingers in there. They have a lot of say. The director has to abide by that. They're rewriting constantly. They're adjusting the script based on performers and what they can do. So I don't know. A lot of that stuff felt like it would ring true. But this whole thing that they did is exactly what I was imagining when we watched A Fable Holiday, where you have a real life scenario. There's a script. Everybody has a role, but you throw an unexpected element like a jury into the mix and you don't know the outcome. You don't know what is going to happen. And we called it improv. Fine. We'll stick to that. But I was all in on this and double thumbs up from me.
Double thumbs up from Brian.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Really enjoyed this.
Wow.
I don't think we've seen a double thumbs up.
Double thumbs up. That's big.
I'll even do it for the show.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thanks for doing it. That's why you
Brian's
get Philo,
never
right?
looked older.
I walk the walk.
Speaking of never looking older, I just realized that Michael's name for this platform is Michael the 80-year-old, which is very funny. Right. We'll kick it to Michael the 80-year-old. What did you think of Twas the Night Before Christmas?
Wait, yeah, but I labeled that because it took me like 11 hours to figure out.
You did a great job.
You look great, Michael.
You've never looked better.
Don't let Brian down talk you. I mean, come on.
Guys, this gives me... Have I told you about water?
It looks delicious.
Okay, so my hot take. I mean, it felt like I was watching a documentary on theater. No. In all honesty, Honestly, I was into from the beginning. I was like saying, okay, because look, I know when I turn a Hallmark Christmas movie on, there's generally, I don't know, this felt like sci-fi as Hallmark can get. And look, as one who knows how the sausage gets made and sees and reads a lot of these, I'm open to the ghost thing. I'm like, yes, okay, I am here. I will show up and I will go along on this. I thought all across the board there was terrific acting, which I really, really, really that gets me. I'm thrilled. If there's someone who I'm like, they were like, wherever the location they shot it, they had to hire someone local, and they maybe I don't know what happened. So I was thrilled. Like the acting, I thought was dynamite across the board. I've worked with Tori before. She and I did a movie 100 years ago. Zane, I have a fun little tie-in with Zane, yeah, there was a couple pieces of story along the way where, of course, where it's like, wait, what? But I went along for the ride, and I discovered it's really fun to watch these with my wife. Maybe someday I'll make her with me, and we'll.
Oh yeah, please do that.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
So yeah, I'll give it a thumb up.
One thumb up for Michael.
Thumb up, yeah.
All right.
I'm being told that we can't afford your wife.
That's right.
So,
that is true.
Well, no, yeah, that's a whole conversation. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. We'll let the lawyers figure that out.
But it would be fun.
Yeah. No. She's sponsored by bread. The whole bread thing. Bread's sponsored.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Big bread is involved. I don't know.
I can't.
We did just fire our producer, Aaron. Yeah. We hired her a week ago, but we've got to make ends meet at this point. I don't really know.
Make ends water.
That's right.
This is a weird movie. Just a weird movie. That's all. I was just watching this movie and I'm like, this is weird. And I don't know, maybe it was the COVID that I had when I was watching this movie. But I didn't like that it was weird.
You didn't get all the normal Christmas feel staples out of this movie.
I don't know. Yeah, I do want to say I agree with Rady. I really liked these two leads, and I thought that they were wonderful together. And had
Zane Holt
had wonderful chemistry. That snuggle session, dynamite. I don't know. I didn't get it. I think that's what it comes down to is I got to the end of this movie and I'm like, I just don't get it. Why? I don't get it as a whole.
Yeah.
Which feels weird for me. And so I will blame COVID.
Yeah.
I'll blame COVID.
It was too smart for
It was too smart. I didn't know. Didn't know this was something that we cared about. Two, I didn't know that this was something. Aaron was telling me this is something that she has done before where they do this. They argue things in front of a jury for performance. I didn't know that was a thing. The whole thing to me was just weird. And so that's all I'll say about it. No, not thumbs up for Bran, unfortunately. Thumbs up for the performance. Loved both of them, and I'd love to see them again. I love Tori. Mm-hmm. She's been on the show before. Just delightful, but just weird. Too weird for Bran, which is saying something.
And he didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
Yeah. So about halfway through this movie, I just typed on my laptop, what is this movie? Like, what is it? And the reason I think I typed that is because we will have these jarring transitions into normal Hallmark Christmas movie. So like there are like spurts of 5 minutes at a time that happen 3 or 4 times in this movie where it's like, let's decorate the tree or let's
hot chocolate
get hot chocolate or something like that. And then we will just be thrust completely back into this world where they're putting on a dramatic court case of who wrote "Twas the Night Before Christmas," and it feels very personal. Like it feels like whomever wrote this movie.
It feels like it's been bothering them for a lifetime. It feels
like it lives deep down in their soul. Like it doesn't feel like it's like, what if we did this? It'll be fun. It's like, I have to get this out of me into the world. Like it's like, you know, John Lennon writing the next great hit. Like I can't sleep another night. It's like their
therapist was sick of hearing them talk about it. And it was like, please, like write it down.
If I don't get this on the page, if this doesn't get made by the Hallmark Channel, like my life's just not complete. And so it just overrides everything else in the movie. Like it becomes this, this nagging thing that's like, we have to tell this grand story, except the story isn't grand. It's just a play that has ghosts. I will say this. I think that Torrey DeVito and Zane Holtz do a good job. Zane Holtz. And then I would say one better than them are the two guys that play the ghost. Rady, I know that you've been on these sets and you're kinder than I am. We can tell when 3, 4, and 5 on the call sheet are local. Like that's real quick for us. We're like, oh boy, buckle up. They spent all the money on the leads. We got nothing left. We just got to hope they don't look directly into the camera. In this, yeah, I know you're laughing because it's happened. They've been takes ruined in your head right now. There have been takes ruined.
It happens, man. Sometimes that camera's right there. And you punch the camera. I'll like, yeah.
But these two guys that play Livingston and the other guy, they are like fully committed to the bit.
Right? Yeah.
They're really good.
Really good.
Like, so good that they almost sell this whole thing. Which is, the problem is that there's no world where we can think this is actually happening when they're like, the two actors we played are so method that they only show up when we call their names. they're so method that it's like a Beetlejuice situation. Like, we literally have to say their name 3 times for them to appear on set. And then also there's a lot of improv in this that doesn't lend itself to them writing a script at all. But like, all of that, you just have to leave. And so, was it one of the more interesting Hallmark movies I've seen this year? Yes, absolutely. It's very jarring how it switches between like, hey, this is home, this is comfortable. Here's a tree decorating thing. Here's them going out and getting hot chocolate with cinnamon sticks in it. And then like, here's a ghost play that's improv, but not, and everything hangs in the balance because of a producer and a Broadway person that's in, like, it doesn't, like, these two things like don't necessarily marry well together, but I wasn't bored and it was more interesting. Like A Fabled Holiday, like that thing's DOA. Like, they take a great idea and they just run it straight into the ground, like full boredom. This did not do that. And so I still am confused as to how to approach this movie.
Yeah, but the performances carry it. Like they float, don't they?
I will say this, with lesser talent in here, with a local 3 and 4 on the call sheet and with lesser Hallmark leads, we could have been in for a real slog here.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been a very disjointed movie. And I do think the leads bring it to where it gets to.
They were all doing the gingerbread technique to
That's
a
right.
T.
Yeah.
And I think we're all better for it.
We all are.
I learned so much watching this movie.
I can't wait for the wait what section when we get to pepper Michael with acting questions.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, let's get to the feels. What gave us feels while we were watching this movie? Brian.
So every time Moore or Livingston Jr. were on screen, I thought that was great. Everybody's mentioned how great they were. I agreed with that. But when they performed the play, they had snow falling in the background of the windows of the courtroom. And every time I noticed that, it was just like they could not have done that better. That was so nice to see. And that gave me lots of Christmas feels. I thought it was near perfection.
Shout out to local theater. The people that are doing the props in the background.
Next level.
Unsung heroes. We notice you. Michael, any feels for you?
I thought Zane and Tor's moment on the couch. You mentioned it in your hot take, but that was, I thought that was the most dialed in moment of the movie. Appropriately butted up against one of my like, wait, what?
Yes.
But that was like, I mean, I've never seen a feel with a weight like that right next to each other. But when he looks at her and he's being right here with you right now, that's like, damn, that was good.
Yeah. It's a definite wait what for me, but I think you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay?
Was that me?
I don't know.
It was in my ears. That's all
Another
I know.
check from Big Water coming in.
That's the wire. They play a loud high pitch when a wire comes in from one of their big sponsors.
I get a notification every time they drop it.
Wow, that is amazing. That's amazing.
Sorry, I'm on my wife's laptop right now. And so, there might be more of that. I can't promise.
Yeah, no, that's okay. All
I
right.
hope so. Yep.
Wow, it's been a good day so
It's a
far.
good day for you, buddy.
Big water coming in clutch. Yeah, I'm with Michael. That scene, I love a snuggle. I love a snuggle sesh. That worked for me. The head on the chest, yeah, all of that, real good.
Yeah, this is not. I don't know if this is like Hart feels, but the first time they're calling for Livingston and he doesn't show up, and then he just gets eschewed in from Ghostland with like snow and wind and everything, and everyone in the entire place. There's like 6 people watching. Are like, it's good effects, really good. That's good. That's good. Like that. That was like I did get a kick out loud. Like I don't know if they meant for it to be funny. Maybe they did. It was real funny for them to be like, oh yeah, this is like we've seen some small local theaters before, and these effects are pretty good.
That's why we hired Jameson. He's the best in the biz.
He's the best in the biz. Look, they're making the most with what they got for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's take one more quick break. We'll come back with the wait, what, and the what the Hallmark here on deck. The Hallmark. We're back, everybody. Wow, what a wonderful day it's been.
What a
so
day.
far. What a day, and it's just getting started. It's time for the wait, what? It's where we talk about what and this. What's going on, Brian?
Sorry, I actually had a contractor just show up, so I just let him know where to go. But I'm here. I'm full.
So was the beeping on your end?
Nope. That was.
You were gonna let Rady take the fall for it, but that beep was on your end.
It was not.
You know, Rady's too rich to have a laptop that would malfunction.
Come on.
If I even tried to, I could probably send a beep to his laptop without him knowing. He couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He gave all the permissions. I watched.
That's right.
He
gave all the permission.
He did.
He gave allow video, allow microphone, allow beeps,
allow notifications.
He didn't know what he was saying yes to. I just said
yes. Brian, what you waiting and what you wanting, buddy?
So they were doing they as much as I love research, and I love research. They were doing
research.
Love research. It seemed like they were doing an awful lot of additional research, really close to when they should have been more prepared to be done researching. And I feel like I'm not going to complain about all the research, but just having it, days before the
3
premiere,
days before their first performance.
Really.
Hours.
Yeah.
So that part, I feel like that could have been spread out a little bit more. And her dad, Josie's dad, Zane there, he's on West Coast bedtime when he was speaking to his daughter at one point, which would have been like 7 or 8 o'clock to be like generous for his daughter. And he, at that same time, he was baking cookies where he was on the East Coast. So he was baking around like 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
That's right.
Which not a great time for
How is
baking.
7 p.m. being generous to his daughter? She is like 6 years old. You put your 6-year-old in bed at 7?
7 or 8 would be normal.
8, 8. So like it's at least 11 o'clock, you would think, on the East Coast.
So if she's staying up later, which would be more generous, that's it's a little late to be baking. And on opening night, this is just a little thing. The opening night, as people were filing into the theater, the curtains were not
that dog barking means.
You gonna blame that on Rady too?
Michael, can you shoo your dog away?
Oh, I'm on to you now. Oh, man. I do not trust you.
Little puppy Jack over here chiming in. The curtains weren't down on opening night when all the people were filing in. I thought that was weird.
All right, you go ahead and mute yourself, buddy.
That was a directorial choice to really make them feel a part of it.
Yeah.
You
feel the tension. You feel the tension.
Yeah. It's like, okay. This is our spot. This is our jury box. This is where we. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
when
I had to negate something you said after you're like blaming your dog and all the dings on me. I had
yeah.
Just hit that mute button whenever you're ready, Brian.
It's good. He's got it. Rady, what you got?
My wait, what? Right after that incredible moment they had on the couch where he looks in her eyes and looks at her and says, "Being here with you right now." And like, I think he said, "My heart's pounding out of my chest." And she's like, "Mine too." and then my wife and I were like, "We're waiting. Okay, here we go." And then they just kind of like,
I'm just telling you.
They lean next to each other and like she puts his head and wait. I think we both said, wait, what?
Michael,
I liked it.
the back and forth is this. She says, "Tell me something romantic." He says, "Looking at you right now, I feel like my heart's going to beat out right out of my chest."
You should get that
And
looked at.
she says, "Same." And then they proceed to platonic snuggle on the couch. I got to be honest, I don't know what comes next after that dialogue, but I know it's not what they did.
It's not that. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that.
It just isn't.
No.
There's myriad things it could be. It's not that. I can promise you that right now.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked every second of it.
It made me so curious what the dialogue was like, what that conversation was on set. Because it'd be like, all right, wait, what story are we telling right now, and how do we? Is this the best way to tell that? That's what I would have done. Look. I know it says we like sit shoulder to shoulder and think, but is that the best way to tell this story right now? And so I wonder what that.
I think that they were walking the line of she says she doesn't date actors, and so I think they're trying to like uphold that until they just can't like. Which I just don't think that was a successful attempt.
Then you do the lean in and this feels right. You do that, and then
there's a knock at the door. There's a dog barking in Brian's house. Something.
Exactly. There's a ding. A Rady getting cash from Big Water. Ding. Oh,
that's
God.
right. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. And wait, I had another wait. What? Which is obviously the gingerbread technique. You guys. That's why I show up here is for the checks and for you guys the way you make me laugh and the way you your hot take and the way you break down the script the movie with the gingerbread technique.
Yeah.
I thought she was great. She was a great actor, and she went from being a really bad actor to being a really quite competent actor in 30
one gingerbread. Yeah, in one gingerbread.
I wish my journey was that streamlined, and I wish I had a friend who would teach me the gingerbread technique like that. Tori never mentioned that when I was working with her.
Not a single time.
It's unbelievable.
And I don't fault the actor. I don't fault her in that because I think obviously just a script thing. They needed that art.
So,
yeah.
I have a legitimate question about the gingerbread technique. I understand the idea that if you're concentrating on something else, your lines can come more naturally to you. I'm sure some people, as a part of the process, use this as like, can I say these lines just from memory so I can now get into character? So like her doing something else and saying the lines, that like makes sense because we like in education, you'll use that as a tactic to like a mnemonic device or something to learn with. How does it help her ad lib? Like, because she asked while you're building the gingerbread house, remember these lines as you're doing it. And then she goes, so how does it help me when somebody goes off script? And the answer Tori DeVito gives is like calculus. Like, I don't understand what she just said there. I was hoping you could explain it to me though.
Oh, yeah. You can't look for me on that one. I'm just, I'm a humble new actor and disciple of the gingerbread technique. So I don't know exactly. I know improvisation is it's a close cousin of conversation. So maybe there is a kind of link there, but still I did have to rewind it. Wait a second.
She's like, when you hear someone ad lib, think of the walls of this house and remember, like, basically just get it back on script, I guess, is what she was going for.
No, it's about the character. Like, remember the character of the character. Like the walls, or integrity, and all. So it's like, as long as you know the character, you'll be able
makes
to.
Sense now.
Yeah.
How do you, Rady? How do you do it?
Tie-in of gingerbread helps.
Yeah. How do you get your script, Rady? How do you go about lines and character? Like, what's the first step? Do you memorize all the lines first? What do you do first?
Oh gosh, no, that's probably the last thing I do. Honestly, it changes for every project. Wow, this is like a James Lipton inside the actors.
That's right. I'm here to help, man.
Guys. It's different for everyone. I usually read the script a couple times. I journal a lot and think about character and kind of paint the background, and that's metaphorically paint the background of this character and what feels right. And you drop pieces in and look at stuff, my personal life and things about my character, like personally who Michael Rady is, and look at that and see where things kind of overlap and cross and diverge. And this is ridiculous to talk about.
I love it.
How are you able to do all of that while also managing all of your big deals with?
I mean, that's why I have all those lawyers, you guys.
So when you're building a gingerbread, you're just thinking of your character?
Yeah.
Wow. That is next level, man.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's a very effective technique, which is why I was like, oh wow, I need to rewind and really absorb that.
That's right, for sure.
She did have a great line where she's like, show what holds all the pieces together? Sugar. That was funny. That was a good little line.
Sure.
Wait, I feel like there was one more. Oh, it's okay. We'll go. I think I had another what, but we'll cover that later. Oh yeah. How does a ghost not know that if he's getting played with a party in Poughkeepsie at the very end?
Yeah.
You're a goat. Like,
yeah, you can go wherever you want. I feel like
it shouldn't, like, traffic was bad getting there. So yeah.
I think they were playing a little. Sorry, more cash. I think they were playing a little fast and loose with the with reality there, you guys. Anyway, that's what I got.
Yeah. I only have a couple. Obviously, the gingerbread technique is one of them. I'm still like relatively confused as to what is, aside from the ghost characters and when we bring them on stage, what of any of what they do is improv. It's
not if it's their ghosts, they're just really
no, not the like everything else. They're just kind of like, hey, sometimes there's going to be improv, sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
But like, what I was just baffled at, like, most of it's scripted, but then we will bring on these two characters that apparently we just can't pin them down. We can't pin them down. We're not going to give them a script. We're not going to give them lines. When they come on stage, at that point, we don't know what's going to happen. That is a wild way to do a play.
But also it's wild when you've literally not rehearsed 3 days beforehand.
Yeah.
So,
and
like,
you're still researching. Oh my goodness, you're still
Wow. The play opens in a week and she's still doing research on the characters. I just decided, because I had all of these things like, there's a lot of improv in this. How do you prepare for this? And I realized that's why they haven't practiced, is because they just throw it out the window and just say whatever comes to mind.
But some of it's scripted. Like the other people that they bring on stage, they have a script. I don't know. The whole thing is,
it's the way it should be done.
My last one, and it does go back to research, and I want to give a shout out to producer Erin, already coming in clutch here. I asked Erin this morning what she thought of this movie, and she said that the most distracting thing was the city of Troy. And I said, how so? And she said, everything I know about Troy is that it's the most boring city in the world.
Wow.
And apparently Troy has a thing called Troy Nights, where one night a month, the stores in the town stay open until 7 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm just now the city of Troy is awake. What? Like are they doing this play at 3 p.m. so they can get everybody home by the curfew of 6? I don't know. She looked it up and it's still a thing. Some stores even stay open until 8.
We're gonna go there.
Live from Troy.
What state is it in?
To Troy.
New York.
Oh yeah. We're all meeting there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So shout out to Troy. And I just thought that was
so during the summer, they literally shut their stores down when it's still daylight.
You got to shut it down.
They hate money. They're notorious for not liking money.
They don't like money.
Don't stop here.
We don't do that.
No. Man.
Amazing.
Or like maybe everybody's just like, just got up really early.
Yeah. When does it lift?
Yeah,
when do the stores
open?
The stores open at 4 a.m.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dan?
They have a hot chocolate scene in this movie, and when Zane drinks his hot chocolate, there's a stick of cinnamon that jabs in his face and then just all the way up the side of his face. I can't believe we didn't get another take. I can't believe we didn't fix it. I was uncomfortable watching this cinnamon bark try to impale him. It was not good. Also, I'm not here to get upset at editing or effects departments, but when you have digital snow and Tori DeVito's walking down the street and she stops and I see an actual fly, there's an actual bug that's around her. That's tough, man, because that bug is only existing in warm weather. And that means the rest of it doesn't exist. And it's bothering her. And it's like, just give her one more. Give her one more take where we get the fly out of here. Yeah. And I hated that.
Oh, dude, we did Christmas at Pemberley Manor.
Yeah.
In
Oh yeah,
New
with Jessica
England.
Lowndes, a minted classic.
Oh, that's kind of you. We did it, but we did the scene in the horse carriage, and there were I just remember we had to do take after take after take because we were covered. It was 98 degrees. We were in Argetta, and there's just flies. We're trying to have a romantic scene, and we were eating flies were in our eyes and our mouth, and it was brutal. They clearly made this in Winnipeg in, I'm gonna guess and say June.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I do, since you brought up Christmas at Pemberley Manor, that's our most listened to episode of all time.
That's true.
It's because it was released the day we were on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
And so
no big deal.
Yeah, so it just happened to coincide with that. But also there's a sinkhole in the middle of the town, which is a classic underused in your movie in Christmas at Pemberley Manor.
It's a great trope. It's a classic.
It's like there with Hot Chocolate Race. You don't see it as much as you want to see it. The old citywide sinkhole that makes you have the Christmas
with the water line break.
It's a classic.
Remember that. That's right.
Yeah, we were in the White
I love that.
You sleep every night like a baby in your comfortable home with Egyptian cotton on the backs of sinkhole plots.
No, he sleeps on a water bed. Admit it. You sleep on a water bed.
I do have a water bed. How did you guys know? Did my sister tell you? Linda, did you tell them? Linda. Did you tell them about the water bed? Oh my God.
Classic
Linda. Can you get big water? They keep dinging. All the deposits keep going to the computer. Can you take it off there?
Shut it down.
Whatever you do, I don't know. We're live right now.
I love that they could have just done in Pemberley Manor. They could have just had a water line break, but they said no one will believe it.
This is Jane Austen, mofos.
It's
sinkhole.
Everyone goes to the sinkhole. It's just lazy at this point. You're like, oh, the sinkhole thing. I'm amazed.
So I will say this: the gingerbread technique is a modern marvel because we went from someone who literally couldn't read off a sheet of paper to someone who's amazing, which Michael did say. I couldn't believe it. This place seems, ghost and all, really boring. Like it doesn't seem like it's a full-fledged play.
The play?
It seems like it's a one-act, 10-minute boy with a closed curtain.
I think that might be what it comes down to for me is I wouldn't want to watch this play. I'd be bored out of my freaking mind.
Do you know
out
who
of
else?
my freaking mind.
Do you know who else is bored? Over half the crowd. Whenever they go to the crowd for shots, no one is enamored. No one's even happy to be there. Yeah. It's like they won a radio contest and were forced into watching this.
It's like you... Go ahead.
The background performer who does the standing O with the family. I don't know what direction she was given, but it was like the Seinfeld. Are we doing this now? We're standing up for everyone. Oh.
But and the other thing is
but you could have done a combination of things, right? So what if it's like we do the courtroom and then it like that spotlight goes black, open over here, and we see Twas the Night Before Christmas also acted out. Like it keeps going back and forth somehow. You're arguing about who wrote it. You're seeing the story played out in front of you. I just a courtroom scene of arguing something that I genuinely didn't know was a thing that was argued about. I didn't know it, and I still don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care who wrote it.
And I
don't care.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. You clearly don't care. They also clearly didn't have a big auditorium, but they did get one shot of a big auditorium crowd. So like they have a bunch of shots of just 5 or 6 people that look like they're in the play, a lot of close-ups, and then occasionally they'll go to this wide shot that it may as well be off of Google Images. Like it's got to
be stock, right?
Not in Troy wishes they had an auditorium that big. Like Troy.
Well, when you're only doing performances at 1 p.m.,
I just
how
can't
big does it have to
imagine
be?
a world where that auditorium.
The booking there is so tight. You get like the amount of money they had to spend for that theater for one night. That's all they could afford because they have massive shows coming. And Groban was in there.
It's unbelievable. Then my last one is are we to believe that this play runs, I don't know, I'm going to be generous, 45 minutes to an hour, and then gives an intermission before the verdict?
Well, they have to.
You sit for an hour. I get you got to tabulate votes or whatever they do, but they literally sit for an hour, close the curtain for a minute, and give people an intermission and come back out for 5 minutes? Is that what they do?
Yes.
Because
I would assume so.
This is wild. It is a wild
Well,
world.
then
out there in Florida.
they can have a what's that when you appeal, right? And then so we
And
start
there's
the
an
appeal
appeals
process.
Yeah,
So-
they go to an appellate judge who's
That's
also
right.
a ghost, and you don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, this
don't know
could
which
take.
way they're
I mean,
gonna
this could
win.
go
That's
all
right.
night. This thing.
Could
Yeah,
go
so
all night.
What's
Yeah.
thrilling to me is that brings me to our next the unanswered questions here. I heard that they shot the second and third movie at the same time, and so they follow these ghosts now for the next 2 Christmases. I'm so excited. So when I heard that, I was like, ooh,
yeah, and they used a lot of motion capture. Number 2 is like almost all underwater, which is wild.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They had to hold their breath. They were doing a lot of.
Yeah.
So that was a hook right at the very end that I didn't see.
Oh
coming.
yeah,
And
it's really good.
Brad,
Yeah.
I loved your wait, is this something we care about? I laughed when you said it in the synopsis. I didn't know this was something that is debated.
Debated. It's no sinkhole in a town based on Jane Austen. I can tell you that right now.
See, that's good. That's good stuff right there.
Did you ever on that set go, why is this a Jane Austen? Like, why are we bringing Jane Austen into the world of sinkholes?
I did. It just seems, okay. This is when's the sinkhole? When are we shooting the sinkhole scene? Okay, good. All right. Is weather going to be a thing? We're going to have to move the sinkhole scene to.
Okay.
Yes, and sure.
That was Michael went out of turn with the What the Hallmark, which I love.
No, I like that. Yeah,
That's
we'll go over to Brian. Brian,
fast and loose here. Fast and
loose.
We're all friends. Everyone can keep up. We know what we're doing.
That's right. Brian,
Yeah, where are we?
what the Hallmark buddy?
Yeah, I
what the
know.
Hallmark buddy?
I know.
Nice.
So actually, Michael, you might have a good answer for this. So
Talk.
Sophia, the Broadway producer, she came on stage to talk to Madison during the actual intermission.
That's right.
I feel like that would never ever happen ever. Does that ever happen?
To like, hey, I just want to like get in your head real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that may have been contrived a little bit for the sake of the story and the plot. Yeah, that's again, that's a little bending of reality, which they didn't do much of, so I will allow it.
Yeah, between the ghost and whatnot, not a lot of bending of reality.
Yeah.
I'll give them this one.
Gingerbread technique. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Rady, did you have another What the Hallmark, or are you good?
You know, it is it's the ghost sitting on the log at the end or wherever they are up, and they're like
on the log. You know, up in the roof up there.
They're on the roof.
They put logs down by the lights so that the lighters.
It's the light log.
Yeah,
the light log. They hang they hang all the lights. The light rack from there. When they're like, oh, we'll get there. We'll get there next year. So we'll talk next year. Wait, but okay, all right. What was the other one? Yeah, I can't remember my other one now. I think that was my main one. Like, wait, the sequel? Can we? There's room for a sequel here, and
There's room for a sequel.
Of course there is.
I'll show
Thank God.
up. Yeah. We did during when it was the first time. They're like, we'll just have to. I don't know. We'll just improv and see what happens. If like, wait, but what if they don't show up? What if the ghosts don't show up when we need them there? I don't know. Then we'll do the script as written, or we'll
without the main witness.
My wife went, but what about the light cues? We spend a week setting your light cues.
Yeah, that's fair. What about the light cues? In that same vein, what was their plan? You know, typically juries have to come to a consensus.
Yeah. 9-1, we did it, gang.
Now
Close
they dodged a bullet here with only one of the ghosts showing up due to some classic ghost trickery of time and space.
Yeah.
But if both ghosts showed up, there was actually compelling argument on both sides. We have a intermission. What happened? What was their plan if the jury was seriously, we cannot come to a consensus on this?
Hung jury. What did we do?
Were they? Yeah, was that the plan?
We started over.
Did they give him a time limit? Was this a come back tomorrow? We'll see if we could close this thing out.
Like in real life, if you have this thing that you're doing for a live audience, you never come back 9-1 ever. Like that is just not allowed. There are 10 fictional people.
Yeah.
Why is the script written hung jury 9-1? Duh, that's how you end it. What are you talking about?
There were easily 37 people in the audience, or I don't know, 50, 60, So lots of people didn't even weigh in. So
Yeah.
they were undecided. It's
Bored to tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, this producer, what kind of scam is she running? There's no world she's from the big city of New York and runs a Broadway. And who in their right mind would think that this had a chance? Like, who is watching this 12-minute play where sometimes the actors don't show up and go, you know what I got a Broadway stage with your name on it. Move over, Hamilton. The Rogers Theater is all yours, gang, for this 12-minute history lesson where the ghost might show up. Who is doing that? That was the most, more than ghost, more than gingerbread technique. The most far-fetched part of this was we have a Broadway producer in from out of town who has watched multiple rehearsals and then seen the real thing and goes, I can't wait another second. We got to get you to the big city. No, there's no world where this lines up.
No. Couldn't wait till the end. Couldn't wait till curtain.
No.
Get back there.
Yeah. It's like whoever made this movie, it sprung forth from their soul.
Yes.
They couldn't wait another second.
Watched all the Broadway, all the off Broadway, all the off Broadway, all the off Broadway. And
that's right.
She's in the regional stuff now. And Troy, this is the
one. I made it to the mecca of regional theater, Troy, New York.
Yeah. And to watch a courtroom drama on Christmas Eve when most people are going to church.
That's right.
This is our courtroom drama about something that we didn't know people cared about.
Has to be done before 7 p.m.
We're gonna bring this to where it was like it was waiting for Guffman on Hallmark.
Oh my gosh, I would pay money.
I still just can't get over the thought, the image in my head of somebody, whoever came up with the idea of this movie, waking up in the middle of the night just being like, who wrote "'Twas the Night Before Christmas"? Who wrote it?
Every night, heads popping off the
3
pillow.
p.m., 3
Honey,
a.m.
But hear me out. They're really ghosts. How do I get the Hallmark in there? Don't worry, there'll be a couch scene and a tree decorating scene. But back to the ghosts.
Who wrote it?
You know what's so ironic about it being the most confusing part of this being the play itself is that this movie was based on a play about this. So
what?
It's just like, yeah.
What? What do you mean?
Whoa.
What does that mean?
At the beginning, where they usually say story by, written by, it said based on the play. And I forget that. I don't know what the play was titled.
So whose bright idea was to turn this play into a Hallmark movie?
Wait, so there's a play. This is a play?
Yeah. Yes. And I was just trying to look it up, but I don't know if the play is like this, like a play about a play being made, or if it's the actual court.
I'm looking at it.
Surely the play can't be about a play being.
Do you hear that? You need to tell me this stuff ahead. I need to get this info ahead of time.
Yeah.
I
can't be caught off guard.
Linda's fired. I can feel it.
Michael, thank you, buddy, for joining us. This was so much fun.
Of course.
Do you have anything you want to tell the people? Like, I don't know, you can promote something, or you can just like say something.
Oh gosh, I drink your water, people. I encourage you to. I encourage you to drink your water.
Promo code Rady at checkout.
Is it water.com?
Wherever you buy your water.
No, I don't want to plug any. No, just go and I wish everyone a little bit of a moment to slow down this season. That's my goal, at least, is to find a few moments to not be constantly saying next week will be a little more slow and a little more doable. I am challenging myself to find a moment or a few moments or more moments than I have in the past to just pause and enjoy my family and I wish that for everyone too. That's going to be my plug. How about that?
I love it, Michael.
Big Water. Sorry, Big Water. Well, there I just did it. I just did it. I tried not.
After today, we're taking 10 straight days off, Michael. So we're following your rules. We canceled the hot chocolate race, which was a big decision for us. So we did what we had to do.
We had to do it. We had to do it. Yeah. Michael, we love you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. This is so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
We have one more
pictures of the plane when it's all done. Okay.
Yeah. Please. Post. We'll share it with everybody. I know they're invested.
Good.
And we'll be back tomorrow with the last episode
of the season.
Last movie of the year. Wow. Golly jeepers. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
That sounds fun.